Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another video and a new sketchbook. Look at that crisp, clean cover. I've been putting a little time into creating a character that I want to feature on the cover. If I jump to the page, I created this character. If you don't want spoilers, go check out the video. I'll have it linked up there. This is the character I plan on utilizing for my cover and the first page of the sketchbook. There'll be an illustration here, and then we'll move to the cover and maybe paint on it. I've been practicing my acrylic painting. Let's hope that it pays off. So where I like to start is right here, and obviously I've kind of already jumped the gun and started working on the character. Now that I've put that time into the character design and I've let it like rumble around in my brain, there are some things I kind of think I might change, but we'll see as we go. This is the color scheme that I used for this character, and we're gonna have to be able to transfer those into paint. And then I also have a fine liner and full erase pencil. Here we have her on a separate piece of paper so I can actually have it out. What we need to do is find a way to take this character and then transfer it into an illustration that's going to work well in a square format. So like the cover of the sketchbook's a square, as well as the first page of the sketchbook. So a good place to start is to draw a little mini square, and that will be our thumbnail. And then we can try and fit the character into that. I really like this sketch with her sitting in the snow. So I'm thinking if the pile's coming from the left, then the character would be pointing towards the opening of the sketchbook. So like, it's like she's looking at the opening of, I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like it's cute, right? We'll need a big pile of snow. She needs to be like the forefront of it. And then the other thing that's really important to the covers is I like to put the number of my sketchbook. So this is going to be my 26th sketchbook. And we need to find a way to like fit those words in here too. The ponytail, the big poofy vest, and the big boots. We could like try and draw imprints in the snow of the 26. Or we could go with like a banner approach, where you could like just put the number, like a cover of a book or something. This will all be dark. Let's try a little bit bigger and really work on that pose. I don't want it to be, you know, boring. What if we have her leaning more into the snow with her knees up? It almost looks like she was just pushed into the snow, like it's the beginning of a snow fight. We could do a really confused face, would help illustrate that storyline. So one of the things that I'm not 100% on are these socks and then the jaggedy shorts. I did explore the idea a little bit more, and I thought if I make them corduroy, it makes more sense because that's more like a winter fabric. The way it's kind of protruding out, like right at that bottom, it makes me think of a skirt. Should I just make it a skirt? Well, that's just one of the things going around in my head, at least. If she did really get pushed, her head would be like further back here. Like, whoa! And then her big mittens. I'm not a huge fan of that pose just because we don't actually see the snowball being thrown, and it just puts her in a pretty precarious position. But I can still use the same thumbnail to kind of explore how I would like to put the words in there. Potentially just writing sketchbook 26. I'm gonna just draw our character here. Last time I asked for like names on what I should name her. I haven't quite found the one yet. So I guess we're stuck calling her the girl. So if you have any more suggestions, let me know. Let's try it once with a skirt. Kind of try and imitate that same shape if possible. That's kind of weird. And we need that big collar, big mittens. Tights or socks, I guess. I might throw in a little bit of color here, refresh the memory. And it's gonna look a little different on this sketchbook yellow paper anyway, so. See how the blue looks a little bit more gray on here? Red. I'm quite happy with the design that we came up with. I'm kind of excited to work on this design with the paint, like copying the colors, because I'll have to mix them, see if I've learned anything. Throw in some eyes. So you can kind of see the character. It's always good to draw it a couple times. If you're interested in what the colors are, it's pale yellow, garnet, baby blue, Should write that down so I don't forget them. So now if I don't like the sitting pose, another idea would be to just kind of do a close-up of the character's face. Maybe just side of it. The problem with that is it's kind of, you know, a cop-out. But I would be able to kind of add detail. The hair kind of coming around the side. Forgot the collar. And then you could put Sketchbook 26 here. That does give me a little bit more leeway with the acrylic paints, since I do have a harder time getting details. I would probably draw something different for like the welcoming page, because I'd be using markers on this. I could do more detail. So like a close-up for the cover. And a small problem with that idea is that you don't really see the hair, but it's an idea. And then you can have her looking up at the word sketchbook. I kind of want to draw a little like snowflakes. It's snowing. You know what I'm gonna try? Just coloring in these tights red. It's an option. The skirt's boring. I feel like I kind of like the jaggedy edges of the shorts, even if they don't really fit the rest of the design. I could even, for the cover, have her like pull down the mask. Give me another square. Like, what about a slightly pulled back so we get some shoulder action? Like the mittens pulling the mask down around the face. Her eyes would be here. Kind of covering up here. This would all be the inside of the ski mask. And then the goggles will go up here. We could do that same kind of knit pattern on the gloves. I could do like a slightly blowing effect, just so you see it. And she'd probably be a very rosy from being cold. Probably be folding back into the neck if it's like tighter there. I think by pulling down the ski mask, it gives me a lot more room to be expressive with the facial features. Pull the gloves higher over the face. With the snowflakes. I might actually draw this same pose again, but like a little bit more covered. So I'll try that again. Face. So normally the ski mask kind of like fits over the eyes. You have the goggles. Maybe swirl the hair back. That's fine. That's fine. Bring the arms up. Put the gloves right here and here. So then it will just kind of come down this much. Pull the mouth up a little. Putting the mouth up just makes the chin look huge. Go back down there. No, I think that works better. I suppose you could put the mask up, but then you'll forget that the mask was even there. So if I want the ski mask, I'm gonna have to either leave it on all the way or go with this route. I'm gonna try and replicate that with this, see if I know how to do it. So I put it under the chin, so you get to see the chin. Let me try redoing the eyes. Cool thing is we're just drawing gloves, we don't have to draw hands. That makes it easy, right? I think I managed to make it kind of look like similar, but you know, from a different angle, obviously. Maybe we'll put the hair that way, because it's looking that way. That makes more sense. Maybe the mouth's too big. I'll try shrinking that. Okay, I think this has some merit. I'm liking this. I feel like this could definitely work. I would pick that one over this one. But this face might be helped with a little bit of line art. Let's try that. Let's try to add wrinkles here, see if that actually makes sense. Pattern of some kind. Does look right. Just throwing in a little color here. Rosy cheeks from being in the cold. So I think I have that pretty much ironed out. The next thing I need to do is figure out what pose I want on my welcoming page. Instead of thinking the cover and acrylic paints, I'm thinking, what can I do with markers? Just gonna kind of doodle around here. See if something inspires me. Definitely want the normal ski mask. This is like a pile of snow. Snowman in the distance. I don't even know where I would put the words, because it's like so centered. I mean, I could cut it off here, and then put all the words here. Not quite it. Let me try one last thing. These squares keep getting bigger, or is it my imagination? How about something classic? This kind of reminds me of one of my first sketchbooks where we just have the character kind of leaning on the words. You could even make the words made out of snow or something. Could be one of those sculptures. Probably want it to fit a little more like this. Maybe a circle. We could put more snowflakes wherever. I want to make it like a snowman. Let me see if I can find a better like sitting pose, because I would really like to do something sitting. Maybe on a square. I'm not a fan of the straight on. Guess we could add a lot of swirl to the hair or something. I feel like the legs could use a little work. That way you'll actually see the one glove. Again, not a fan of the straight on. We could try and twist it a little. Ooh, we could turn her away from the camera. I have done that previously, but haven't tried it today. And then you could put the words right here. They'd all kind of fit in a square. But it does feel more like a summer sunbathing pose. So it might be smarter to not go with that one. I'm gonna look at some of the things that I've already done. I wouldn't mind just drawing someone standing there with the numbers. I'll try one last one. Real big, because this is my final chance. I'm not drawing two tiny ones again. I think I'll try putting the character on the right side with the words on the left. Boot. Those spiky pants, shoulder, and we need that big vest with the collar. Might take the hair and just kind of curl it this way, give it that hero pose vibe. So there we have the character standing there. Probably not quite that big of a square. And then in big, bold letters, we can just write this. Maybe fit it in a little better. All right, I feel that. She does such a like Fortnite character vibe. Let's try and transfer that while it's still fresh in my memory onto this page. So essentially we want the feet to end about here. Going for the hero pose. Hips, torso, boot. Let's draw a square for that. And this we can go with more of a generic boot shape. Did hands on the hips. Do I want to try something different? Nice vest, spiky shorts, socks. That should be separated into 3 sections. Those should be very marshmallowy and puffed. Okay, I've got some shoulders. I might take this arm and pull it down like this just so you end up seeing it. Then we can kind of do a fist or something with the mitten. I don't want to like cover too much of like where the words are gonna be. I'm kind of understanding why I chose to do the spiky shorts, because they kind of like poke out of the bubbly jacket and make it obvious that it's not one big chunky shape, because you have like the soft roundness of the jacket and then the pokey shorts. It kind of just screams that they're not part of the same fabric, which kind of stops it from looking too frumpy. What if I just put this arm down too? Try it on. They can kind of match. That hand would probably look more like this with a thumb visible. You know, that's doable. I kind of like it. I don't usually draw characters with their arms just flopped, you know? Let's go ahead and add in the line art now. I would just go in and add color first, but there's some really good lines in here that I don't want to give up. Sometimes the reason I'll do color first is because I'm more interested in like the colors and tones and stuff and getting them in the right place. But with this one, I would much rather get the details. So I'm going to use the line art first. Throw in the hair up here. Oh, something you know I did wrong with this sketch is I would usually draw the inside of the jacket. Is this a good time to do that? Anything on the left of this line is the inside of the jacket. Anything on the right side of the line is the outside of the jacket. Do this arm. Now we need the one on this side. There's a leg. All that's left is these boots. Let me do this one first. And the little holes in the tights. And then the end of the boot here. I might just do a slight little erasing, just so it's not too heavy on the pink, especially where there's gonna be white. And I need to finish adding in the knit. Let's go ahead, add in the red first. Now I might need to pull out the cool grays and the warm grays to really push the red in the distance, because these are both going to be red. So we're going to have some colors overlapping. Also on the vest here, and then this is all kind of colored in. Oh, ski mask. The last thing is the shorts. Then we're done with the color red. Let's do blue next. Almost everything else is blue here. From this down. I made the back of it blue. The boots are blue. Looks like she's like a Team USA skier or something. The mask is blue. Then we need yellow for the hair and potentially the socks. I haven't made up my mind on that yet. Probably should have by now. Luckily, the red covers over it perfectly, so it's not too much of a fight. So this is a neutral gray number 0. I'm gonna use it to shade tights and anything that needs like a little shading that's white. And I think in that I went over that tights with the blue. It ended up being like a neutrally blue. Then I go over it with pinkish white, so it looks more like tights. Then I can go over the holes in the tights with this too. So it kind of just makes it look a little more transparent. Use this on the face as well. Grab the next darkest neutral gray and just add a little something to this mask. Maybe a little shadow here. Then we need to add red to the socks. Or do I want to leave them yellow? Maybe we should go with the gradient. Mix from these to these. Yellow. And then I think I did the hair as well. Just a small gradient. Blend that out. And then I added snowflakes on it. And then there's a little snowflake on here. I kind of just draw on whatever side is visible. There's the tights. Now seeing it, I feel like I want to write Sketchbook 26 in red. Maybe with the chisel. Halfway done. Oh, another O. And I didn't leave room for the K. Okay, I don't like the K. These look like donuts. They're too perfectly circled. Should we do the 26 in this yellow color or in blue? We'll do it in blue. Even come up over that. Maybe outline the 26 with the red color. I might add a deeper blue to that. I want something slightly darker, just to add a little gradient. That might be too much. Just the slightest little gradient. Probably would have made more sense to outline it in this blue color as well, but you'll live and you'll learn. And then the other thing I put on the first page usually is like a little space to put the start date and the end date. I'm gonna just draw a straight line. So I started this, I think it was November. Like I said, I've drawn on this a little bit, but yeah, there. Now I might use this blue color and just draw in our little snowflakes. Does that fit? Does that fit the theme enough? What happens if I go like with blue over this? Get a cool gradient. It's actually lifting the red, I'd say. I like it, you know, besides the K. I'm glad that I went with the kind of simple pose instead of trying to do something I wasn't going to be comfortable doing. A couple gray ones in here, kind of match that. All right, so then I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on the cover. Let's go to the front and try to recreate this pose here. So we have like the shoulders. The first line's already wrong. So it's more like this. I want it to more over to the right. First lines are important. Maybe if I just draw the head first, because that needs to be in the right spot. Thinking right here. And our eyes will go like here. And the shoulders would probably be like here. She is scrunched a little, so the neck shouldn't look too long. She's kind of holding her mittens here to hold the mask opened. Not sure where those shoulders go. The forehead would be up here. And we got her cheeks. A little smile. Eyeballs. Eyebrows. And then the mask curves like this. We kind of open up like that. So then we need the hair. Well, I don't want it too high because we have to fit words there. So maybe down here. The words can all fit in here. The goggles. Alright. Face is going on pretty well. Throwing the hair a little higher so it's more visible. We're forgetting the collar. Kind of comes around like that. And it would fall in this way. Probably pull these corners down a little. I'm drawing with this white pastel pencil so that it's visible. Maybe we can fit some of the pattern on the vest in here. Shoved in there. I've kind of got it down. So what I'm going to do first is draw in all the details instead of trying to fill in the colors first. So almost going with like a line art technique. Because what I've found when I'm doing, especially if it's like a face or something, is that if I try to throw in the colors before I do like the detail or the line art, I feel like I'm trying to play catch up because I drew the details, then I blobbed out the details with paint, and now I'm putting the details on again. Maybe use a Posca pen. We have a dark blue. That actually might work because blue's in our color scheme. So let's just straight up blue. Let's see if I can just outline everything. Maybe I should just go with black. Let's see if it works. If it's visible, which I think it will because it's going to be a different texture, this was a good choice. Cool thing about markers is if I do mess up, because it's paint, be able to use the opaque art supply to our advantage and cover over it. That's the edge of it, kind of being wrinkled. All right, I think I got a line. Oh, wait, here. 1 second. We got the line arts. Might try to copy this font a little bit. Although there's not really a point in putting it in black, except that it's like sketching it out. Okay, let's start adding in the colors. I'm gonna have to mix some. The hair is definitely yellow, so I'm gonna start with this Posca pen just to get a nice even coat, because this is basically the exact color I'm looking for. We can start there. Fill that in. Oh, eyebrows. I think I have a white Posca pen. Could probably fill in the whites of the eyes. Kind of just start to bring some life to the face. And then we'll probably end up going over all that line art that we did with something else at the end. Oh, and the shirt is white too. It's pretty patchy. Nothing another layer can't fix. Just kind of blocking out the colors now. Okay, first layer. So it looks like the red is like a deep red. So I have a cadmium red hue, but it's a little too orange. I might just add a little quinacridone, magenta, and mix those together. Actually, that's almost the exact color I need. So maybe not too much red at all. And that is very close. It almost needs a little bit of white. Let me try the yellow. Might be a mistake. Definitely too much yellow, but I think I was right. It did need a little yellow, but not that much. So try that. Just kind of add in our first layer of this. It's a little more transparent than the Posca was, I can tell. First stage is always the ugliest, hopefully. Ooh, globby. Definitely a different texture than the canvases I've been practicing on. It's much more slippery, so the paint kind of like glides on it. Make sure we don't lose my guidelines. Now we're going to need a blue color. I feel like I have a Posca pen that's like exactly the color we need. But I'm going to use this for the first layer just because I'm finding it easier than the paint. I'll need something a little lighter for the next layer, even though it almost works perfectly, like because it's so opaque. Definitely need another layer of white. Might try just paint this time. Ooh, see how the next layer is so much better? Time for another layer of red. See the difference? Oh, you got a layer. You got a layer. I think I'll go ahead and mix a skin tone. We wanted like a very light red. Kind of fill in some of this. That might be a little too pink. Whoops! It looks really creepy. Ooh. Gotta get past the ugly stage. Trying to blend it now like pulls through a little too much of like the canvas underneath, which makes it look real muddy. So we'll just have to wait on that. Very wet. Ah, now she's got a mustache. Add another layer to this. I keep thinking it's gonna be enough, and then when it dries, I see right through it. I wonder if I can throw a little teeth in here. Oh, it's kind of cute. Okay, now we need yellow. This is kind of a different yellow. We can do another layer of the red. Let's see if we can do another something to this face. Ooh, that might be a little too white. Maybe we can blend it out. Try and blend it out before it dries too much. I think what I need to do is add like a little bit of blue to the face. Just adding in a slightly cooler red, basically. Maybe a little yellow. Ooh, that's better. Now it doesn't look like a lead mask on your face. I think I'm just gonna have to go over the whole thing and restart my blending. A little more magenta to that. Deeper around here. Keep rendering the face till I like it, or until I start just consistently making it worse. Maybe grab a smaller paintbrush, try to add in nostrils. I kind of changed the shape of the nose. I realized it was off to the left a little. Blend outwards a little more. The bread keeps changing colors, but it is so close to what it needs to be. I'm gonna try layering just magenta on top. Need another layer of the yellow. That might take like 5 layers. And that should fade into a little bit of an orange when we get near the bottom. So I'm gonna add a little bit of magenta to it. Go in here and draw in the nose. Oh shoot, I forgot that was wet. Darn hair. Soften up the shape. Make it look more like hair. It definitely needs another layer of white. Throw that in there. I'm gonna add little snowflakes, kind of to hide this mess. I forgot to add another layer of blue. This time I'm gonna mix it because I want it to be much more pastel than what's on here already. Is that right? I would call that pretty much baby blue, wouldn't you? There's not really any contrast between that and the white. Might add a little bit more blue to it though. Probably a better match. I would like to try and do a texture on the gloves and like the knit hat. So maybe just mix the red with a little bit of white to just make a lighter version. Does that look too much like her skin tone? Maybe add a little magenta. Oh, I do not have enough control to make them smaller. Let's try this. Let me try a smaller paintbrush. This is making an improvement. A little tricky. Detail's not my forte. Gotta fix this here where I completely smudged it with my hand. Try and add the little snowflake. I'm doing it in polka dots and a line. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. A little snowflake. Now I think the next step is definitely the line art thing, so I can't touch it. Just go up here and try to add in the word sketchbook. I want to try it with this blue color. Guess we don't need the sound effects. Is it as visible as it needs to be? I could use the white over top a little bit. White highlights. I want bigger pupils. I'll use the Posca pen. And a little bit larger pupil. I try to just throw in a little tiny bit here and here. Ooh, okay. And then just everywhere else. I'm gonna just go in with the pen on these. Kind of just ready to be done. It's starting to make me sloppy. And there's nothing uglier than sloppy art, in my personal opinion. Best part's definitely the face. This, I don't know what's going on. What if I just add like a little highlight to the edge of the mitten? Kind of quickly add some final little touches. No highlight. Let me look back at the marker one. Let me see. I remember drawing these. Has it been that long? Ah, yeah. I just like using markers. I want to try just adding a little quinacridone magenta. Maybe with like a wet brush. Just to kind of add the slightest bit of shading over top of these. Just to kind of make it look a little less flat since the face is pretty rendered. A little bit of shading. What really needs some shading is the white. Light source top left a little bit. Little shadow under this knit hat thing. Guess I should give it a little signature. And I might go over this with like a coating to just protect it. But this is for all the people that requested that I paint on the last one. Oh, I gotta write on the side. Boom, little snowflakes. I'm very, very happy with the blending on the face, and that gets me really excited to paint some more, but maybe next time not on something that I have to look at every time I want to draw. Thanks for joining me as I drew on the cover, the inside, and the very first page, and hopefully this mascot will turn up a few more times throughout the sketchbook. That's my plan. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week, and I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye! Oh, you know what? Kind of want to, 1 second. If this video wasn't long enough. Now it kind of like matches the side a little bit better. Anyway, bye!